What's up, guys, and welcome back to another Diablo 3 build guide. This one's going to be for the Witch Doctor. It is going to be a Spirit Barrage with using the Mondunadu's Regalia set. I'll go through the skills, the gems, the cube items, and everything, and then you'll be able to see a GR in the background while I'm talking. And I'll talk a little bit about the rotation and everything like that. I'll provide a D3 planner link and a Diablo fans link in the description. So let's get started. All right, I'm gonna go through all the gear really quick, but like I said, this build is gonna be using the Regalia set for the Witch Doctor. The set bonuses for this are gonna be Big Bad Voodoo will follow us around and it'll last twice as long, which helps with movement speed and also with attack speed. 4-piece set bonus will gain 60% damage reduction for 30 seconds when we enter the spirit realm. So that's when we're using Spirit Walk with John, we can get some damage reduction. And then 6-piece set bonus. Spirit Barrage will deal 20,000% increased damage plus an additional percentage equal to 5 times our mana regeneration. So for our helm, we're going to want intelligence, crit chance, and Spirit Barrage damage. For our shoulders, we're going to want intelligence, vitality, all res, life percentage. We're going to be using the Traveler's Pledge in our amulet. And we're going to want cold damage, crit chance. And then for our bracers with Comrade's Ornament, we're going to want cold damage, intelligence, vitality, crit chance. And we'll also get we'll get 6% damage reduction for each stack of Soul Harvest. So that's another 60% damage reduction. And then for our chest piece, we want intelligence, vitality, armor. And for our hands, we want intelligence, crit damage, crit chance, and cooldown reduction. For our belt, we're going to be using the Captain Crimson Silk Girdle. We want intelligence, vitality, life percentage, and bonus armor. This set, at the 2-piece set bonus, gives us 6,000 life per second, 20% cooldown reduction, 20% resource cost reduction, and then we get increased damage based on our cooldown reduction, and we get reduced damage based on our our resource cost reduction. For our first Ring of Emptiness, we're going to want attack speed, crit chance, and cooldown reduction. And this will allow us to get 300% increased damage for enemies affected by Locust Swarm. We'll just be casting Locust Swarm, pretty much on everything we see. For our pants, we're going to want intelligence, vitality, bonus armor. And then for our other ring, to complete the Endless Walk set, Compass Rose, we're also going to want intelligence, attack speed, crit chance, and cooldown on this one. And then for our boots, we're going to be using the Captain Crimson Waders. And we want intelligence, vitality, all res, and spirit barrage damage. For our weapon, we're using Sacred Harvester. This allows us to get 10 stacks of Soul Harvest. And we're going to want damage plus intelligence, attack speed. And then for our Mojo, Gazing Demise, we want this to have damage range, intelligence, crit chance, cooldown, and the spirit barrage, as well as mana regeneration. That'll help with the Regalia set bonus. And this item here, Spirit Barrage, gains the Phantasm Ruin. Each active Phantasm lasts twice as long and increases the damage of Spirit Barrage by 150%. It also increases the attack rate of Manitou Specters. Going over the cube now, we're going to be using the Barber in the weapon slot. Instead of dealing direct damage, our Spirit Barrage will now accumulate on the target, and when I stop casting, it'll explode for 400 to 500, which will be 500 since it's in the cube, and another accumulated damage to all enemies within 15 yards. So instead of just spamming it on targets, you want to kind of like dump it a little bit and then just kind of like come off of it so it'll actually do its damage. For the armor slot for the cube, we're going to be using Aquila Karos for more damage reduction. And then in our jewelry slot, we want to use Ring of Royal Grandeur. And this will allow us to actually get the set bonuses for Crimson Trimming and Regalia, since we're splitting those sets a little bit. As far as gems go, we're going to be using a diamond in the helm for cooldown reduction, and then I put max topazes in the chest and the pants for more damage. You could also put diamonds here for more survivability. The weapon needs to be a max level emerald for crit damage. For our first legendary gem, we're going to be using Bane of the Powerful. We'll gain 20% increased damage towards elite packs, and then 15% increased damage versus elites, and take 15% damage from elites. And then we'll be using Bane of the Stricken. More attacks on target equals more damage, and then 25% more damage against bosses and Rift Guardians. And then Bane of the Trapped, obviously, will get increased damage against enemies that are affected by control impairing effects, and then also gain an aura that reduces the movement speed of everything within 15 yards. All right, going over the skills, we're going to be using Big Bad Voodoo with Ghost Trance, and this is going to follow us around and give us increased attack speed and movement speed. And then we're going to be using Spirit Barrage with Manitou, and this is kind of reminds me of like using a Sentry build for the DH. I kind of just cast the specters on like the corner of the screens, and really help speed up clearing. Then we're also going to be using Soul Harvest with Languish, and we're gonna keep this stack at 10 because we'll be using Soul Harvester, and so we'll get 3% intelligence for 30 seconds for each affected enemy. And then we'll also get armor as well. And then we use Spirit Walk with Jaunt to help us get around a little bit easier. And then Piranha with Piranado, which helps us group up mobs. And then Locust Swarm with Pestilence, which we can cast on mobs for added weapon damage. And our passives are going to be Rush of Essence, which our spirit spells return 100 mana over 10 seconds. And then Spirit Vessel, which is our kind of like cheat death. And then our Grave Injustice, we'll get 1% maximum life and mana to reduce the cooldown of all of our skills for 1 second when an enemy dies within 20 yards. And this will also play into the Regalia set. And then Swampland Attunement, me and my pets get physical poison and fire, or physical poison, fire, cold resistance for every enemy within 20 yards. All right, so next up is going to be Paragon. Now, obviously, if you're over 800 Paragon, utility, defense, and offense will be completely maxed out. And for the core tab, you want to make sure you get your movement speed and put everything else in intelligence. But for the sake of just, being able to start a new season and kind of working your way towards Paragon 800, I'm going to go through the priority at which you should be filling these tabs up. We'll start off with utility here. We're going to want to start with area damage, and then we want to go with life on hit, and then resource cost reduction, and then gold find. Gold find is pretty much always going to be last, regardless of what build you're looking at. For defense, we want armor first, then all res, and then life regen last. And then for offense, we're going to want crit chance, crit damage, cooldown reduction, and then attack speed. And like I said, once you actually get those tabs filled, movement speed will be at 50 as well, and you'll be just sticking everything else into intelligence. That's going to be it for this build guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you plan on trying this build for Season 21, let me know in the comments what you think. I think it's actually pretty fun. Really good farming build, even if you're playing another class that may be a little bit more for like RGK or something like that. But thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time. Check me out on Twitch where I stream Diablo 3, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to see more Diablo 3 content. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.